Scott Oake, Ryan Leslie, I see our special guests.
Frostbee or Farabee? What is it?
Yeah, is it Frostbee or Farabee that we call the two guys?
Well,
I think they say Frostbee, but I don't know.
Let's get to that then.
Good,
so,
yeah.
but first of all, a week ago tonight, Morgan Frost, Joel Farabee played their first games as Flames. The two newest Flames are with us tonight, or Farabee. That's the acronym that's going around, and I'm sure you guys are aware of it. You may even have started it. How do you say it, and what does it mean?
I don't. We didn't have any part in that. But,
oh, okay.
I think what I've seen before is Frostbee. So I don't know where that started, but it's pretty funny when people use that on social media.
I thought it was the first three letters from Frost, add the last three from Farabee, and you get Frobee. So I guess I'm wrong, but according to what I read on social media, it is a measure of your deep friendship. And if I read it on social media, it's got to be true. So how, Joel, would you describe your friendship?
Yeah, I think we're pretty much best friends at this point. I mean, we kind of came into the league together, and
was that grade 8?
That's an old one.
Oh, those are some good pictures. Yeah, we obviously came into the league together in Philly, and we've been pretty tight ever since. So we've kind of just done everything side by side, and so it's funny that it all works out that we end up here together too. So it's been good.
And then lucky to be traded together from Philadelphia, and we will get to that. But first, Ryan.
Well, let's just maybe stay with the positives tonight. You score again for the second time against Seattle. Maybe take me through your goal, if you could, Morgan, because it seems as though you both, I don't know if you looked them off, but there was a moment there that you were wide open. We were laughing about it, but
I was open for sure.
It looked as though you had it as well. So maybe take us through it if you could.
Yeah, I think felt like their D.
It was subtle the way you looked them off.
Felt like their D were pinching a lot, and just tried to get by them a little bit. Lucky it bounced out, and I think 9 times out of 10 I'm usually passing on a 2-on-1, but yeah, I'll probably hear about that one for the next day or two, but glad I shot it, I guess.
Is that where you said right there? I thought we were reading your lips. I was open.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone on the bench was saying you should have slid that one over to
Wow.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joel, that you had to court dead to rights should Morgan have given you the puck. All right, back to the trade. Still a bit fresh. It occurred a week ago Thursday in and around the Flyers' home game against the Islanders. So a two-pronged question. When did you find out you were being dealt, and how did both of you feel when you knew you were going together?
Yeah, I found out probably 5-10 minutes after that game ended. Danny Briere brought me in and just told me, kind of told me the details, said I'm going with Frosty, and at that point I really, didn't really know. I've never been through something like that, so I didn't really know what to expect, but I think for me, I definitely had a sense of peace of mind knowing that I was going with Morg, and knowing that we were going to do it together. So, I think through everything, I think that having him with me, kind of made everything go, a lot smoother.
You, Morgan?
Mine was a little bit different. I actually had left that game.
Yeah, but you weren't pulled to protect the asset,
No,
right?
that's where the confusion came in. I was injured, and I was having some vision problems, which sounds weird, but
what, migraines?
Yeah, something like that. So I had left the game, and they kind of told me to go home. So I was home before the game was over, and then I ended up. Everyone was asking me if I got pulled for a trade, and I had no idea what was going on. And then Danny ended up calling me when I was at home, and had just told me that I'd been traded. I didn't know that I was going with Joel at first, so when I found that out about 10 minutes later, it was pretty relieving. And obviously that night was kind of tough, but after that, I think being together with Beezer, we were pretty excited to go together and have a fresh start.
Then how you got to Calgary, which was a nice touch by the Flames, right?
Yeah, maybe if you could, guys, just take us through. I know we've talked individually about this prior, but just the idea of, Craig Conroy, Peter Hanlon going into Philadelphia and getting you right away, what that was like for you guys to experience together. Certainly it's the first time for both of you, but just the idea of, that plane ride, coming in, having management come and grab you, and kind of bring you up to speed with what had to be a little bit of an uncertain situation. I don't know how much you knew about Calgary or the Flames, given the different conferences, but maybe take us through that whirlwind ride back to Cowtown.
Yeah, I mean, just an amazing gesture by Pete and Craig to come get us. I mean, the weather in Philly was really bad that day too. So for them to fly 4.5 hours on a private jet to come get us and basically 10 minutes and then get right back and fly 4.5 hours back was, I think it just shows what a great organization this is and how they treat the players. And, we felt really respected and honored to be Flames. And, I think having that gesture was I mean, personally, I think I'll remember that probably for the rest of my life. So, just so nice of them. Obviously, they definitely didn't need to do it, and they did anyway. So something I'll definitely remember.
And Morgan, did Craig help break the ice or what? Is he just the most easygoing GM in the National Hockey League when it comes to just the interaction?
Yeah, I think.
My guess is there was no dead air. There was a lot of conversation.
Yes, definitely for the first half of the flight for sure. And then I think they were obviously pretty tired, and we had a long day too, so kind of rested for a bit there. But I think, like Joel said, that meant the world to us for them to do that. Obviously, I don't think that happens very often in this league. So, I think just like he said, something that I'll always remember, and definitely made that day a lot easier.
You guys were both first-round draft picks, and first-round picks always play under a microscope. Morgan, you were subject of trade talks from last summer on, and Joel, like Morgan, you spent a fair amount of time in John Tortorella's doghouse. I wonder if either or both of you actually coveted a fresh start even before the trade was made.
I mean, it's tough to say, right? Obviously, we had a great relationship with those guys in that room, and had so much fun there for the years that we were there. I think sometimes Torts gets a worse rep than he deserves, but I think at the same time, for both of us, it felt like we were kind of just almost stuck in the mud. And the way the season started, I think it was kind of trending towards that, and like I said, we're both excited for a fresh start, but nothing bad to say about Philly. I think we both loved our time there, and great guys, and that's about it.
From Tortorella to Ryan Huska. Ryan.
Yeah, I guess, Joel, what's the biggest differences you see between these two coaches? From the outside, we see stark differences. How about from a player's perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been great. Obviously, I think in Philly, I think they focus a little bit on, the mistakes and trying to fix the mistakes and things like that. Whereas here, I feel like they really focus on the positive things and really try to pump guys up and, get them to play their best game. So obviously two very good coaches in this league, and, they know how to win. So, there's I don't necessarily think one way is better than the other, but that's just how they roll. And I think for us, I think we maybe respond a little bit better to the positivity and the pumping guys up, and I think that helps us play a little bit better.
Right.
Totally different coaching styles, to be sure, and I can say, I think, and Ryan would agree, that neither of you should expect to witness or be part of a screaming coach players confrontation on the bench in Calgary. Joel, I'm interested in a story you told about Tortorella's pregame speech in a game in Florida.
Yeah, I think that was his first year with us in Philly, and I think, like you guys probably hear, he's brutally honest, and so he came into the room and was just like, guys, he's like I can feel it in my gut. He's like we're gonna get killed tonight. And so it's looking back, it's kind of funny because I think at that point in our careers, we've never heard a coach say that before a game. Usually it's like, all right, come on guys, we got to do this and this, and he was just brutally honest. He's like, I can feel it. I think we're gonna get killed tonight, and I think in that game we ended up winning too, which is funny. So we kind of you kind of laugh about it after, but that's just kind of how he rolls. You never know what he's going to say or what he's going to do.
That can backfire. I recall a story Kelly Rudy told me when he was with the Islanders and they were on a bad run, and the coach came into the room and his pregame speech consisted of, okay, you bleeps, let's see if we can bleep this one up the way we did the last game. And Kelly said, and we did. We failed like 6-1 at the end of the first period. So it can backfire. All right, your first goals as a Flame, Ryan.
Well, yeah, we talked about the Seattle side of it. I'm sure, and for you against Toronto here at home, maybe just take me through the emotions of getting that, because it sometimes can take a while, as we all know. Watching new players come into new systems with new teams, it seemed as though this has been a natural fit from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I think it feels good to kind of get the first one out of the way early. I think at the same time, like I said, we were really excited to come, but at the same time, there's obviously a bit of nerves there. All new faces, all new staff.
Is it relief
New
at
city,
this point, even, Joel, for you too?
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of what Frosty's saying, like you come here and you really want to help the team right away. So to get it out of the way early definitely felt good. But I think at the end of the day, it's what can we bring to the team to help in any way. So we're still trying to figure that out. Still trying to find our roles in this team, and hopefully after the break we just keep moving forward.
Morgan, the book on you includes your creativity, and we saw it in full regalia on a goal you scored on Jeremy Swayman of the Bruins, the between the legs move. Would you feel more free to try this sort of thing here in Calgary than you might have in Philadelphia?
I think there might be a touch more leeway for doing something like that, but I think in the right situations and obviously if you end up scoring it, you probably wouldn't hear too much from Torts, but I think to answer your question, maybe a little more inclined to do something like that now.
Right.
We just want to go back to you as a Flyer, Joel. Just the idea. I spoke with one of your old teammates today, and Garnet Hathaway, former Flame. You guys know him both very well. And I was trying to dig up some dirt, but he didn't have any real dirt. But he did say that you were kind of that glue guy, not only in the room, but sort of that guy who, with veterans and younger players, you were in the city with these younger guys, kind of showing them around, and you were that kind of bridge too as well. Have you been able to kind of find that traction? Obviously, you're new here, but that's kind of your niche, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think for me in Philly too, I took the time to spend a lot of summers in Philly working out, and so it's something I really like doing. Is just making the young guys feel at home and trying to help. And like you said, I think I'm in that kind of age group where I can kind of relate to the older guys, but also kind of relate to the younger guys. So not really sure what's going to happen here this summer, but hopefully I'll try to be around as much as I can, get to meet all the new prospects and things like that, and try to just continue that same kind of stuff around here.
That's great.
You two on the same line tonight. You can create magic when you play together. We saw you on the 2-on-1 in which Morgan scored tonight, and we offer as another piece of evidence. Frost to Farabee for a breakaway goal versus San Jose. This would be your basic Frobee or Frostbee, wouldn't it?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess that's what they'd call it maybe. It's a nice finish there, Beezer.
See what happens when you slide it over.
Yeah.
You see, it could have been totally different.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to put Ryan on the spot here and say, do the voice.
Oh, well, I think we joked. I mean, listen, if you were growing up in Ontario, Southern Ontario, Toronto, everybody knew your dad, Andy Frost, and they knew him certainly at Leaf games as a PA guy. You had a chance to grow up in and around that locker room and that arena. But also, if you were just a listener to Toronto Rock, you heard, Psychedelic Sundays, you heard a call-in show that had your dad, and I don't know if I'll do it. John Bartlett does a great impression of your dad, one of our play-by-play guys, and he was always, he and I still talk about it like we were your dad. He'd be like, Mike in Buffalo, you're on with Leaf Talk on AM 640. Leafs ball 7-2, but hey, they got 2, and Mike, you're on with your home of the Leafs.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think the crazy thing about that is it sounds sometimes like he's announcing just when he's talking to you on a regular.
Time to get up, Morgan, and go to school.
Yes.
It's now 8:10.
It sounds exactly like that. So
I love it.
That's one of those special things about him. He's a unique guy, and I'm grateful for all the things he did for me growing up.
You've been hearing about it too much, but it is great for us folks who grew up listening to that and were around it. And you said, I think you were telling us the other day, your favorite Leafs growing up, Kyle Wellwood.
Yep.
Matt Sundin and
Matt Stajan.
And now you get to work with him.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, it was a real treat for the Philadelphia Flyers. I think it was on the father's trip, stop in Nashville, when Andy read the opening lineup.
Starting lineup for the Philadelphia Flyers. On defense, number 6, Travis Sanheim. On defense, number 8,
So happy
Cam York. At left wing, number 71, Tyson Forster.
This is spectacular.
At center, number 14, Sean Couturier.
The last part's the best when he pauses before the goalie.
At right wing, number 11, Travis Konechny.
The look.
And in goal, number 33, Sam Ertson.
Spectacular. Beautiful, and that had to be a thrill for Ontario boys like Travis Konechny and Scott Lawton, who would have attended Leaf games and heard Andy working on the PA there. And there he was doing it in person, although I thought Tortorella could have done Andy and you a favor by putting you in the starting lineup. Andy and I go way back to when he started working in radio in Winnipeg, and as Ryan said, 33 years at Q107, Psychedelic Sundays, radio legend. Did he ever drop my name to you?
Not that I fully recall, but I mean, I grew up watching you all the time, so I didn't need him to
Shameless.
do that.
Good.
Yes.
Listen, you and your sister Marley, Andy figures, went to at least 24 Leaf games with him, and Andy would get you a seat on press row right under his booth, and he'd look down and he'd see you at age 12 or 13. Not just looking at the game, but studying it and making notes like a visiting scout almost. What did you learn way back then?
I don't know what I learned, to be honest, but I was sitting down there with all the scouts, so I probably thought that I was kind of one as well. I just trying to fit in, so I had my pen and my paper. I have no idea what I was writing down or what I was doing, but kind of a way to kill the time, and all the staff there and all the other scouts were always really nice to me.
Well, speaking of your dad and the music, in chatting with Hathaway today, he said the one great thing, the legacy that you've left behind, I'm sure there's a few things, but is how much you love the Tragically Hip. And he said they're still playing it in the locker room, even though you guys are gone. Did he convert you into a Hip fan as well?
Yeah, it's actually insane how much he's gotten me to listen to it. But what a band. They're amazing. Some of their old stuff is just so good.
It is.
So I would have never listened to them unless it was Frosty. So
Have you got a favorite Hip tune?
Mine is Bob Cage, and it's my ringtone on my phone, actually.
Oh, really?
But that's my favorite one. But I think if I was going to listen to them with other people, there's a few other ones that are
Courage?
that are pretty hype. Yeah, Courage. New Orleans is Sinking. Scott Lawton's the DJ in Philly, and he would play some of them right before we go out for warm up. So I kind of got everyone.
You got to get it going in this room too. They need more of it. That's for sure.
Speaking of talking, Joel Farabee, Ryan.
Yeah, well, just the idea that actually, where do you want to
warm-up.
go with this one? Oh, yeah, sorry. I was wait a minute. Yeah, maybe take me through the warm-up routine between the two of you. We saw this happen. I don't know how long you've been doing it. Maybe give us a bit of the story of flipping the puck up in the air.
No, not that. A message for everybody coming out in the warm-up.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Why don't you just take a look at this? Yeah, have a listen.
Hey, Hugs. Big Mac. Hey, Riddles. Downtown Patty Brown. SEAL Team. Scotty Tatum. How many does it take? Just one. Just one, baby. For a hundy. A lot of guys don't play one game in this league. Some would say it's the best league in the world. Some would say. Hey, Doof.
Just a pivot.
Hey. Rama.
didn't get me.
19 gonna get his. Put that on my mama. Come on, Banya.
Oh man.
Senny. Get yours. Come on, boy.
Now that's great stuff. As you go out to the ice, do you continue the banter? Are you a chatter guy out there?
Yeah. Sometimes I wish someone would just, hit me when I'm talking like that after watching it. But I'm starting to get some relationships with the guys, so I'll start coming up with some more stuff around here. But I love just keeping it loose before the game, doing stuff like that, just little jokes between the guys, and just trying to bring a smile to anyone's face.
Those mic'd up things rarely produce much more than "Let's go, boys," but you are gold on a microphone. And here's a gem: Adam Sandler as Bobby Boucher in Waterboy.
You remember that time Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl, do you? There we go. Come on, watch.
Where did that come from?
Well, yeah, Bobby Brink, obviously in Philly. One of my good buddies. So just honestly, I have no idea why I started doing it, but just started yelling at him. I actually stopped doing it this year because I'd get so out of breath trying to get it out. So I switched it up. But yeah, like I said, just trying to keep it loose and fun.
Well, Waterboy came out in 1998, 2 years before you were born. So you've had to binge on the movie to be able to quote it like that.
Yeah. I think a lot of my vocab is just movie quotes and things like that. So, yeah.
All right, Morgan, I'm going to ask you to take us through the Xfinity Skills Challenge, the shootout, and Joel Farabee is up here.
2, 1, go.
I struck here.
Oh, man.
All right, you got
This
time
is gold.
left. You got 3 more targets. You're looking to beat a 9-point. Oh, man, you are.
I think I ruined the show that they were trying to do here.
Did you break your stick here?
You got this,
Yeah, and I broke
you got
like
this.
the.
1 more target, bottom right.
Oh my God!
Yeah, Corey yelling at me too.
Yeah.
1 more target.
Almost took out Gritty, too.
Still going. Keep it going.
I think that speaks for itself there.
Fucking embarrassing.
The worst score you can get.
I think he's got to get a stick.
I got it. You don't have to.
She
Walk
literally
of
threw a
shame.
spear at Gritty.
I'll refrain from breaking anymore.
Why'd you throw spears at
Anything you want to add to that?
No, I got no comment on that one.
Morgan.
No, I mean, it was pretty funny to watch in the moment, but no, I think like I said, it spoke for itself there. We'll leave it at that. It's pretty funny.
All right, Ryan, now the Farabee or Frostby warm-up.
I kind of gave it away. Sorry. Yeah, take me through the routine on warm-up. We noticed, I'm sure you've been doing this for a while, but flipping it up in the air, maybe take me through this. This is not what we normally see. Whoops. That's by design.
Yeah. Honestly, I have literally no idea why I started doing it. I usually try to catch the puck on my knob twice, and then if on the third one, I usually just rip it off my head. A couple times when I went no helmet and warm-ups in Philly, I would just have to kind of soak it off my head. So it would.
Have you ever caught it on the knob?
Very rarely.
Really?
I still try though, but yeah, honestly, I just started doing it, and then I just kind of kept it going. People in Philly thought it was pretty funny, so I just kind of kept doing it.
I like how you look up as though something's been dropped on you.
Yeah,
Who did that?
Like, yeah.
Where'd that come from?
And the last part of it seems
Yeah.
to be that you have to back into him.
Yeah, there's probably, I don't know, we might have had 2 or 3 more that we don't really do anymore, but
Yeah.
we'll probably add a few more. That's just one where we're kind of out of the way. We're still trying to figure out our spot in the warm-up routine.
Yeah, we're trying to
here,
stay out of
trying
the
to stay
way
out of the
right
way. Don't want to mess anyone else's routine up. So that's the one thing we brought, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. I think we just, I don't know why we did it one day and probably done it for however many games since. So keep it going.
Yep.
25 below when you guys got here last week. Let's point out that you can't walk around in shorts and a T-shirt in Philadelphia in the winter either. Well, I guess you could if you wanted to, but let's just say it was a lot colder here. What were your first thoughts when you stepped off that private jet?
Wow. Yeah, it was definitely different. I think we came a little underdressed for sure. I think he actually had a jacket, but we had to go to the mall the other day. I needed a jacket. I've been walking around in a sweater, so quick learning curve there. But yeah, it was definitely different when we walked off that plane.
And are you still getting Matt Coronado to drive the two of you around? Is this what's happening?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll try to ride that as long as we can before we get a car here. So, but he's been great. Obviously, just a young guy around here, but I would say personally a future leader on this team with just how he's treated us and taken care of us and things like that. So he's been a huge help to us, and he's a great teammate too.
That's great to hear, a young guy doing that.
Got time now to get a few fans in here. M asks, this is for you, Joel, obviously, if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, are you booking a flight back to Philly for the parade?
No, I won't book a flight back, but I'll be super pumped. I think the city will probably be. I think they're gonna have to grease the poles and everything.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, so
Yeah.
might be a little scary in the city. My house is right on the outskirts of the city, so hopefully keep the security tight around there.
And clearly, you're both Eagles fans. You more so than Morgan.
Yeah, I think he kind of grew up being an Eagles fan, and I kind of just inherited it while I was playing in Philly. But yeah.
Here's a question from Yegor, not the real Yegor Sharangovich, but parody account anyway. He says, Joel played with Johnny Gaudreau on Team USA. Do you have any memories that you can share about Johnny Hockey?
Oh, put me on the spot. What a teammate, I'll say first. I got a couple things, actually. After Worlds, we went to a Kenny Chesney concert in Philly, and I brought all my friends from home, and he brought all his boys from the Jersey Shore, so we had a really good time there. Got to make some really good memories. All my my hometown boys got to meet him, and they're kind of like my boy's idol, growing up as a player. And I think a funny story too was on our way to Worlds. I think for legit the first 3 days, I think the only thing he ate was just bread.
That story checks out.
Yeah, so he's a pretty funny character. It was a true honor to get to play with him and get to know him. And I think something cool too was his wife Meredith, when I got traded here, reached out and sent me a really nice message. So that meant a lot to me.
That's where we'll leave it tonight. Thank you guys for joining us on After Hours.
Thank you, boys.
Much appreciated.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks. Thank you.